Aloha to everyone out there listening on the Maui Stream app. I am Juliet Butters Doty, evolutionary astrologer, bringing to you Astrology Now Maui. Well, it seems like the waves of energies just keep on coming, and certainly time does not wait for anybody. Here we are at the incoming full moon mark as April 12th is fast approaching. The beginning of April, we experienced the newness of Neptune in Eris, where we are all trying it out for size. In fact, we'll try it out all summer and into the early fall before he turns retrograde. So you may have felt some greater clarity and a go for it type of energy, since his ingress out of dreamy Pisces into the impulsive Eris happened on March 30th, not so far back now. Mercury then stationed direct in the wee hours of April 6th for those east of the West Coast, USA. Pacific Daylight Time and Hawaiian Standard Time, it was on the 7th of April, assisting us all to think a little straighter and communicate more succinctly. Venus stations direct immediately after, just within an hour, after the full moon in Libra, assisting us to have clarity about what we feel. Timely indeed. So, with this full moon in Libra, we are blessed April 12th at 5:22 Pacific Daylight Time with a stellar water trine to Saturn, exactly trining Mars, fueling Mars to make the dream real. Bring it into form, Saturn, with some compassion added to it. Literally releasing, Mars is literally releasing a pressure valve that has been building through March. So, by the way, watch out for people who cannot contain themselves. Juno, or Hera from the ancient Greek times, the goddess of equality and commitment, joins in the Mars and Saturn trine, and makes it a grand trine, in fact, and in Sagittarius instills truth to be in the foreground, core values to be upheld, whilst instilling a committed, long-term harmonic. Hera wields quite some power. So Venus, the ruler of this full moon, ruler of Libra, is stationing direct, less than an hour after the full moon, as I said, meaning she is on a strong footing with a message to deliver. She's also in Pisces, and so she's exalted in Pisces. So what's her message? Create spiritual structures in your life with all your relationships, because she's 1 degree from Saturn. Forgive and let go as a constant. Be compassionate to others, as we know not what their experience or passage in truth is. We have not walked a mile in their moccasins. So allow for more love to flow into your life. After all, she is the goddess of love, merged with Neptune. So it's a lot of incredible Piscean energy, asking us to initiate and pioneer new ways to express our love. How can we do that to each other and those that come across our path? So Pisces, the sign of Pisces, sensitivities runs high. So moving to Uranus now, who's sextile Mars during this full moon. He offers a unique and magical hand of creativity to Venus and Saturn, whilst the trine to Pluto still builds formidable support for our future reconstruction projects. So please note, this is a really, really good thing. and it will continue for the next 3 years or so. So just know Pluto is carrying the base note of everything that's occurring. So just remember, he's in trine to Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius. So it's really good. So there's a lot of creativity coming along with all of the change. So please realize all is not lost. We are presently witnessing the necessary breakdown and destruction of the old world, whilst we witness, if we focus on it, the reconstruction of the new. Hard to do when so much is happening out there. Remember, change is never comfortable, and our life will always be about what we focus on. So Chiron stands in the same degree as the sun, just 19 minutes away, at this full moon, highlighting the need and desire to preserve all that is within your beautiful essence and flow. Upgrade to your next level of your I am. Who are you? Fight for what you know to be your truth. Be every part of who you see yourself to be. Chiron acts like a kind of mediator with the transpersonal planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto in general. So with deep compassion, yet with a determined desire at this point to crack us open, taking us to the places we don't necessarily want to go or have shied away from in the past. He is a tough healer. He's ruthless at times, yet he emanates tremendous instinctual qualities, particularly in the sign of Eris, being very connected to the animal world. So really instinctual. We're also on the collective level concurrently working through some old but necessary karmas that need to be seen, highlighted by the sun so close. And not only seen, but expunged, or better yet, rooted out. So where have we been shut down? Why have we suppressed our instinctual knowing over the past decades? Good questions to think about. It's time to rise and pioneer our next level of individuality, focusing on our needs whilst bringing nourishment to ourselves as we go along. And if we say no to Chiron by suppression, we set up chronic recycled suffering. So the world is in this very state with chronic suppressed wounds festering. And the ruler of Aries, the sign that the sun, Chiron, and Eris are in, I'll talk about Eris in a minute, are ruled by Mars. And also including Neptune to make a point. And so Mars is that ruler. And currently, Mars is out of bounds, acting, well, beyond the 23-degree mark, acting, therefore, in unpredictable, extreme, and possibly emotional ways. He's in the sign of Cancer, and is in a T-square to this full moon. So it's a big deal. It's a tense aspect indeed. He therefore is demanding justice, action with focus, interjecting that we think of others, whilst we and you pioneer that new project, but factor yourself into the equation with a refined, cooperative outlook with a fairness for all, fostering into all those partnerships that you may be creating. So be mindful to harness your emotions in all circumstances during this possibly testy time, using your breath practices to see you through. So Eris, sister to Mars, is also in Aries and is exactly square to Mars, standing on the other side of the sun, so a brand new phase to the sun, nearly 2 degrees away, but still very close, calling forth the flame of justice, the need for inclusion and fairness. She was the goddess who was not invited to the wedding, and she's fairly pissed off about that. So she wants everyone included, therefore. So for those who have been marginalized, demonized, ignored, or rejected, she urges us to reclaim the parts of ourselves that have been fractured on any level by patriarchal power. Her call is to stand up against oppression and inequality worldwide. She is relentless. The plight of the Palestinian people comes to mind here. It is beyond measure and really hard to even describe what is happening over there in Gaza right now. It's really unspeakable, and yet it's still happening. Eris wishes to reset the balance of power and reclaim lost ground. So she also assists us to walk away if we want any semblance of peace within, coming to a place of acceptance that people do terrible things. Not sure that I can accept Gaza, though. What is your level of acceptance? You don't necessarily have to agree with me, but Eris will fight for the disenfranchised and strengthen our spirit to stand up. Marches across the country, March 5th, are no surprise at this point, and we will see more. Perhaps there are uncomfortable truths to be faced about how we have treated Mother Earth. Eris is also an expression of Mother Nature, becoming aware of herself. Hence, along with Uranus's help, she too takes part in the destruction of earthquakes, the boiling lava in a volcano going off, which we have with Kilauea right now, the flooding of relentless rains washing away what has induced harshly upon her, what has been induced harshly upon her. So she uproots all that has exploited or oppressed. Lastly, we are also moving into the waxing build-up to the third opposition of Mars to Pluto. Really dynamic and powerful. These two power players move in for their final showdown on April 26th, 27th, depending where you live. The first opposition was back November 3rd, 2024. I think we all remember that here in the USA, right before Election Day. And the second opposition was January 3rd, 2025. These two celestial forces of power elicit deep, primordial, unconscious fears and desires, stirring the underbelly, revealing for the final look. So, what obscures your soul's true desire for your heart's fulfillment? These are powerful days we are in for sure. Follow your heart and breathe consciously through each and every moment. And remember, when the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. Jimi Hendrix wrote that one. The next new moon will be a strong one, April 27th, the day after that Mars-Pluto opposition. So hang on to your hat, breathe. This is actually also a time where Venus in Pisces is conjunct Saturn. So we're kind of on a pause for the next 2 weeks until the next new moon. So just feel in your heart before you take any decisive action. Until then, April 27th, I'll see you then. Ahui ho.